Ancient Wisdom Coral Gardens Atrocity 1963. Published by Wise Mind Publications Lot 715, Dahlia Close West Green Montego Bay No. 2 Jamaica, w.iwisemindpublication@gmail.com. For the rod of the wicked shall not rest upon the lot of the righteous, lest the righteous put forth their hands unto iniquity. Psalm 125. Copyright Wise Mind Publications 2014. All rights reserved. No part of this publication may be reproduced or stored without prior permission of the publisher. Wise Mind Publications. Give thanks to His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie first for itinual inspiration, guidance, and itection. Copyright Wise Mind Publications 2010 Revised 2014. Coral Gardens Atrocities Testimony recorded and transcribed by Ras Flaco Taferi, Wise Mind Publications. Cover by Scott Mosier and Ras Rabin. Cover photo by Ras Flaco and Empress Isis. Layout by Scott Mosier. Edited by Ras Flaco and Scott Mosier. The Coral Gardens Atrocity of 1963. Throughout history, events occur repeatedly as a result of man's inability to recognize, rationalize, and learn from them. Persecution of humans for their religious affiliations is documented throughout the ages. Qdamay Haile Selassie. The events that led to the overwhelming persecution, brutalization, victimization, and discrimination of Rastafari families across Jamaica was spearheaded by the government of the day and her citizens. To date, no reparation was given to these disenfranchised Rastafari families who have paid such a high price for their innocence. I will now share a summary of these atrocities. Rudolph Franklin, a Rasta man, was cultivating a small garden in the Coral Gardens area. He also burned fire coal and sold his produce. He was kind and did no one any harm. Unfortunately, Rudolph found himself in unresolved conflicts with Fowler, the overseer for the property. The police was called in to investigate the matter, who with their heavy-handed approach shot Rudolph several times, leaving him to die. As a result of heroic efforts on the part of doctors at the Montego Bay Hospital, his life was saved. He was permanently disabled as a result of the attack and had no choice but to live with an artificial bowel. After being released from the hospital, he was charged with resisting arrest and sentenced to 6 months in prison, although he had a severe medical handicap. Rudolph Franklin planned his revenge. He did not call upon the House of Rastafari for guidance. The naturally embittered Franklin, after his release from prison, felt he did not have much to lose. He rallied together with 5 fellow sufferers, and as a result of the frustration and humiliation they lived in daily, they began to prepare weapons and set their plot against who they thought had done them serious injustice. The result of this incident led to the massacre and persecution of Rastafari island-wide. Friday, April 12, 1963, ironically Good Friday. The day when Franklin and his brethren were eventually shot and killed, it is now dubbed Bad Friday. During that time, the upsurge overflowed into months of violent behavior against innocent Rastafarians and bearded men. None was spared. The brutality by the police force and civilians was of an inhuman nature. Yet Rastafari never bowed nor denounced Emperor Haile Selassie of Ethiopia. From that incident, Rastafari now carry the scars of the Coral Gardens atrocity. They have paid the price for Rudolph's rampage and are patiently awaiting the government to repair the damage against the innocent Rastafari living in Jamaica. Ras Flaco Taferi. Bustamante and the Commissioner of Police Gordon London came to Montego Bay and murder who he wanted to murder. Bustamante said if Rasta man did not love what he did at Coral Gardens, he would shoot and kill them from top to bottom. But give thanks to Emperor Haile Selassie I and Empress Menan, who selected me to be among the warriors in Bako Wall to lead a protest at Spanish Town Road. It was more than 7,000 of us in 1963 who led that protest. Bustamante said, "Listen boy, we do not love what Rasta is saying, and if you feel that you can do us any harm, we going to bung from top to bottom." Wake a Rasta man among us replied to him saying, "Hey Bustamante." Haile Selassie said, "For the wickedness you have done my people, I shall blind, cramp, and paralyze you." When Bustamante continued his pursuit of us unto East Queen Street, he could not go any further than Bond Street, for the warriors and said to him Busta, death before Disianur. He and Gordon London was forced to remain on Bond Street. Incient IYAH. IWA, love, justice, and equality to each and everyone. First, I asking everyone to remember the first oneness of love, when division was never known among Rasta. But first, Ini have to hail the highest, highly I Selassie, Queen Omega I, Rastafari the supreme presence of Ini Founda. That every black must now realize. That each and every black creation and government headed by Haile Selassie and Queen Omega I, Mother and Father of creation, and for this time that everyone see. Wherein black people need their full refuge, freedom, and liberation. So Ini is here to present to everyone what Ini have suffered for this great cause. That they say, unity is the only gate unto survival. Mentioning of the Coral Gardens and its crucifixion, the date they say the Christ was crucified to see the fulfillment of Rasta, the same day, the same date and the same month. To know that you don't have to go way out of reach. It happened right before your eye, that plenty have seen the crucifixion of Ini. Even a sister and say they used to hear of Jesus in this crucifixion, but they see it happen naturally in their sight and Rastas in the innocence of Ini love. Ini two brethren rest in Belmont, even now I am there. The Thursday morning they say it is Holy Thursday, and early in the morning, Ini hear some people that going to the spring giving out the loud sound that Rasta and police start to war in Coral Gardens. That I hear the sound and call to them to speak that word again, that they say, some of demand dem, dead, and dem say dem want every Rasta, dead or alive. No one mustn't shield or protect Rasta, because Rasta and the government is at war. When it happen and the day light out, I say to my brethren I cannot satisfy with what the heathen say. Ini have to make a robe down the town, and to hear from Ini brethren that Ini can know that something like that done fay true. So Ini leave out, and even trotting I tall foot on the street, and when Ini start make the journey, vehicles passing Ini and giving out the sound and talking about Rasta kill police and dem say police start kill Rasta and the war get hotter. So when Ini reach down at DNG, Ini see an inspector, special constable inspector. Dem call him Dennis Cook. He drive down and stop and tell Ini that there is a war with Rasta and police at Coral Gardens, so Ini must return to the hills, because if you go up there you can be involved. So I tell dem say Ini leave war to live this life, even in war Ini stop war against ya earth, but I have to go in the town to hear if what dem say about Ini is true. So after feet on the ground, and when Ini reach the powerhouse at Bogue, he drive up again in his war uniform and say he tell Ini to return to the hills and don't come to the town. So I say I not coming to the town to fight, a coming to hear the truth, so him drive and gone to the area of the war. Well after coming to town, and I talk to my brethren, dem say war is going on fay true. So by the evening, Ini returned to the hills. That was the Thursday evening, and by Friday morning now, there was an attack from the district saying the Busta, the Prime Minister minister. Ha ha ha. Bustamante say bring in all Rasta, dead or alive. We will dig trenches at Bogue and bury them. So I say well, bury those that is guilty and who involve, but the innocent is defended by the Almighty I King Rastafari. So when Ini is there, they jump over the wall, and two brethren was with I, that never belonged to the district, they jump on them first and start to tie them with rope and I rebel against it, because if they even say I that Ini is in war, it's dem tell Ini that war is going on and Ini could not stay in Belmont and make war in Coral Gardens at the same time. So they start to pull the ipple dem from out of the gates and head for the road. They say I must turn back, I say if they were guilty I would not come, but from they are innocent the first will trod with dem anywhere they going, because they are not who is in the war that come to I to get escape. Well out on the road the downgression continue until I wrath against it, dem say dem going to tie I too. So I tell dem here is I hand, tie the three innocent together, that the flames of the Most High will slay all who guilty. And they tie I hands with the rest, and den the downgress Zion continue. They file Ini to King Gate at Stevenson, and the doctor and nurse and everyone come out to watch the cruelty. One that lead dem say come doctor. Come doctor, make me show you how we lick Rasta ras. Ha, ha, ha. I say Ini is Rastafari and you come to lick the innocent one, and you know say that everyone that fight the innocent is guilty. Anyhow, dem keep pulling Ini down Long Hill until a big police truck stop. The police say put dem in the truck and those who could hold in the truck, come in, and the beatings continued. So I wrath against the cruelty and tell the force to tell these cruel people to stop, because Ini is not those who guilty of crime of committing any crime, much less to kill police. Ini not prepare for war, is war Ini leave to live this life, so who kill police and war with police tell dem to stop. So the force speak to dem and tell dem to stop, so they cease a while, until they come now to the station wherein Bustamante and all his dignitaries was there, war commander and everyone that involve. So after, when they take Ini out of the truck, and when Bustamante looks at Ini, I said to dem same time, is not who is in war nor come from the war area nor intend to fight anyone. It's Ini who love creation, would not hurt anyone, much less to fight police. That he had already given out the command to bring in Rasta dead and alive and they will dig trenches at Bogue and bury them. And he say manly say he agree that all who guilty must pay the penalty but all the innocent ones must be free. That was what was said. So at the same time now, a sergeant that know Ini, come and tell dem that Ini passing at his gate. Time in time, give love to him and not anyone that made war, nor trouble, anyone around the place, so he will take Ini in control. When some angry one rush to Ini to bring their downgression, he stop it, and take Ini down into the cell and say stay in here for identification if you are none of the warmonger. Him know that it is not Ini making the war for it is up that area Ini come from. After they lock Ini in there now, the hordes that brings innocent from hills to hills start to bring them in. One they call Corporal Rob, him was the commander of the moderation. He is dead now, could not live longer, and him say now Rasta, go down on your knee. That time I was in the cell watching through those holes and said after me highly I Selassie I dead. 11. And Babylon live. And when Ipple would not bow unto what he said, Ini say highly I Selassie I liveth and Babylon dead. Lick like rainfall come down on them, that they also lick one another too. The cell was so full, some 25 and 30. Everyone in batteration of all sort bloodshed and murder and bloodshed. The only thing I never see was a complete dead one, but almost dead. It was a terrible thing in Jamaica because it was not the innocent that caused the trouble, but the guilty. And those that they say war with them, Ini hear that they murder them, that they don't even look like any human being again. Anyhow, the tomb was overflooded, that they say open up and carry them to different place. They carry I and some more to Falmouth where Ini meet one of the most cruel murderer. They call him Ugly Hammer. Him ugly really, favor mash up hammer fay true. Without a reason, everyone that come, dem say you must count yourself before you go in the cell. There is lick with the count. That I, him say go in there, and when I turned to go, it was a riot batten across my chest as I stepped to the cell. Looking over I back, there was another one over I back. All other that come in get the final of moderation, others come crying. Rasta you kill me brother. Ini say no, there is no killer in here. Ini is Italian Ini don't kill creatures to eat, much less to kill living one. Another one suddenly come at the window and said look at them, because there was a brethren that they take him without shirt and I take off I shirt and gave it to I brethren for I could stand the cold more than him. One come to the window and look at I and said look up on all that one death, and spit in I face through the window. When the others see, they say. They do the Savior the same thing some years ago and to fulfill that it was Rastafari all along, till it come to prove now. After days, they take Ini to Montego Bay Sodom here, to meet the pilot at the pilot hall. They charge I and the other two for obstructing police on their duty. There I tell the other brethren to allow I to speak to the pilot first, because they were in eye protection where I live. So the pilot say they charge Eni for obstructing police on his duty. So I say, Your Honor, in your eyes, could I obstruct police on their duty, when there was no police present? It was the mad public, it was the mad public that fight Eni and bring Eni in the reach of police, and it was so cruel that police have to tell them to stop, seen, that Eni was the innocent that make no war. So when it gone, the pilot said, all right, remand them in custody until further inquiry, and one of the forces say they will find charges to put on them. So I said to him, you will find charge, seen, that you have it. Eni don't have any charge. Eni never do evil nor fight or war with anyone. Within a time, they return Eni into the tomb where it's still overflooded, and the commonest thing is bloodshed. After returning Eni to the pilot, they charge Eni for breaking the breach of the public order law, yes, because they charging Eni for 13. What the public have done to Eni, knowing that is them break the law to fight Eni without a cause. So when him say that one of the brethren, one of the smallest one, after the pilot say guilty or not guilty, the little one say guilty. I say he is guilty to be innocent, Your Honor, because the amount of lick Eni get, him as the smallest one lucky to be alive than to know the difference between guilty and not guilty. Ha, ha, ha. I continue to tell the pilot why I could not be guilty. For the day when the war started, Eni was in the hills of Belmont, and when the public and when the people passing on the road said Rasta and police was at war, I was in my people premises, and when the command was given by the Prime Minister, to bring in Rasta dead and alive, Eni was roped and beaten by the public for 7 miles. Eni get lick that computer calculator would have problem to count lick. Eni get lick my mile age that every day dem tell my mother that I is dead, because no one not supposed to get so much licks and stay alive. After 32 days a sentence for those they charge innocently, some they free and some gone to prison, I was the final one with the other 2 that they chained to Eni. They chain I up in the morning to court and I returned to the cell with the chain. That day everyone was free and I returned to the cell with chain. What Eni suffer now is that rise the young in Rastafari, the young cubs of the lion and male and female, that they would know that say that Eni stand the suffering to rise their freedom above the bondage of baby wrong. Bongo Campbell. Hail I, Selassie I, King and Queen, Prince and Princess, blessed love. 1963 is unspeakable. What happened to Rasta 1963? I would not love to know that thing come forward, can't happen again, Rasta. The police fired 5 after me, a Crawford St. Mt. Salem, and before them capture me Rasta. Before the first gunshot was fired Fiya, a thick cloud of darkness come down, that neither, the police, the soldier, nor the people, know where we turned. It was while we were at Red Top House on Westgate Hill that someone informed on us and the police captured me. Rasta, when we were in the jail and we wanted water, the police turned on the fire hose on us, putting it trough a small hole in the cell door. I have seen police beat Rasta until his baton was broken. Corporal Rob told us to say Rasta fall and Babylon rise. Any Rasta who did not comply to Rob request, the police beat him until his hand broke. It that we went through Rasta. Roden from Flower Hill carried a truckload of Rasta to the police station. He even shot one Rasta in the foot. The same Rasta was sent to prison. So Rasta, black people in the world should all come, for there is no a way out there besides Rasta. So come, let us gather and rally around the throne of His Imperial Majesty. Bongo Cooper. Yes, my dear brothers, sisters, and companions, yes, in 63 when I was at my home, I heard a sound bup, no one called me, they just kicked off my door onto my bed. Yeah, kicked off the door onto my bed, held me down and beat me on my back with a blackjack and a riot baton. They beat me and broke the 2 sides of my ribs. The 2 sides were broken. Yes, lightning, fireball, yes man, 2 sides of my ribs were broken. They handcuffed me and took me to Falmouth. They hawked and spit in my face and told me to wipe it out. Yes. My dear brethren, I suffered, I am suffering it right now, all around these places. Narrator, touches sides of body, blackjack and riot be a ton. I could not go to my house, I had to go to the cane fields and take some cane band, leaves, and cover up myself. I put a rock under my head and covered myself with cane band until the next morning. Here, I am telling you, I suffered, I am suffering it right now, I am in pain. No one but Haile Selassie the king, yes is Selassie I, the king keeping I survived through the cane fields. You had to sit down and not move, you couldn't say anything my dear friend. I suffered it and still suffering it in my back right now. The two sides of my ribs are broken. I have to make up a bed for my side. It was just riot batons and gun butts. So give thanks to the Most High Haile Selassie I, for life, yes praises to the living God, because if it wasn't for God Selassie I couldn't be here tonight. Yes. I am speaking the truth. 17. Bongo Dean. Unto the King of Kings, the Lords of Lords, the conquering lion from the tribe of Judah, the elect of Yah and the light of this world, the divine worship Emperor Haile I Selassie I him, the first ancient king of creation, King Alpha and Queen Omega, the beginning without end, the first without last, the protector of all human faith and destiny. Bless man, and sanctiful man, and cause thy ever liveful countenance to free upon man from that time to this time. Yes, tell you about Carroll Gardens incident in Sleepfield. Dem call it Wakesfield, call it Sleepfield because they are sleeping. They take I 1961 in prison. I was in prison doing a sentence. See Ralph come in. Me say Ralph, what happened to you? Him say them shoot me in a me side. Ya man, me under great punishment. Ya man, and him tell all what happened to him. Ralph said, Bongo Dean, it gwine terrible you know dash, me know it gwine terrible, but a going out back you will hear from me. Me say all right. Him leave I in prison and come out, and when I come from prison sat early my mother in Martha Bray. I leave from Smithfield and went to Martha Bray with my mother and stay for a long time. I tell my mother I going up to Good Friday. Dem call bad it Friday anyhow. When I catch a bounty haul, dem say et Bongo Dean all them other one die. Me say like who? So Bongo Frank them kill him, Bongo Prince dem kill him, dem haul Bongo Prince right. 18. Through the 3-strand wire, cut him up, hole in jail, come to Montego Bay. Then take I from Montego Bay, whole of Eni. One of the police say him go kill we off, one say no, we escort dem ya prisoner ya, so you can't kill dem, for dem no come from Carroll Gardens, dem come from Smithfield Irie. And dem put I in jail, and that brethren went in Falmouth. When we are in jail, dem have a corporal called Black Iron come from Adelphi. Dem put we in line and going to beat, pick we out and put we in line and start murder we with the riot baton. Them step on a brethren toe bow the toe bust, all in pain. A 14-day we in jail under the punishment of Carroll Garden. When we leave, them take I out. Some get bail and some come out, dem give I 6 months more. I tell the bosun I say a Bustamante regime bring me inside. That time Bustamante up in parade in halfway square here. Him if he turn his back against his people make him 2 eye blind. So Rasta was not his people, Rasta was not his people. So him turn his back against them and murder them, beat them, Eni get murderation, great mud irration in prison in the name of Rastafari. Take I from I habby take up and murder Eni put I in jail with great punishment. 19. Me under £100 bail bond before me can come out, dem take I and I daughter big in belly, soon have baby, lock I up, that the baby born in jail, anyone take the baby have to sit on prisoner bench with the baby. When judge man ask, do you have someone to take the child? Me say no, I have no one to take the child, it is only I and she alone. Me say all right, I will take the punishment for her, and the judge give 1 year for the 2 of us, 6 months each. When dem ready in Smithfield, them have no mercy on Eni. I was going to river to bathe, them charge Eni say we were marching and send we go jail, no mercy in Smithfield. Anywhere we go in Smithfield dem down on us, we have to sleep under tree at night, we can't sleep in a bed, and because policeman will come for us. We have to take common for our bed, and we have our home, we have to hide in a bush, all in a cave from Bustamante and his regime. We have to hide many of days is a clean face man have to bring food come give any certain time when Babylon get hot, a we good friend clean face man say bongo dean me bring some food fi you me say all right. In the end of it dem take a machete and cut I man locks, it could have taller, dem junk off piece already. Daughter in jail say she get trim too. Babylon don't easy, Babylon is a wicked beast, from creation, he is the beast from creation, nothing new underneath the sun. All children of Israel is the said man upon you, said beast said police, dem said one nothing new underneath the sun that shine it is the said judgment from the creation of the earth to this day. Dem crucify all the prophets so the man say him a come high right now a him a come now him name, I Rastafari. 21. Bongo Dean. Bongo Frank. Blessed, Rastafari from that time, unto this time and even forever. I reside in Wakefield a place named Thatchtown. Why it was called by that name is because all the houses there were made of thatch. I was living among that generation of people known as Rastafari from 1947 to 1957, and when I was forsaken by my friends I resided in Thatchtown until 1963. In Thatchtown, the army, the people, and society came with brutality, it was only I who did not hit I. They took me from Thatchtown like a piece of yam head that they had planted or a plantain sucker. The police threw me in the jeep just like how they would throw garbage. They took me from Thatchtown in Wakefield to the police station. When we went up to the station, it was 5 of us as Rasta with 5 armed police with guns. One of the police looked at me and said if you lift your hand to scratch your head, you will not be here, but I was wiser than him. I went through great brutality from Wakefield, Thatchtown police station, until I ended up into Barnet prison. Also when we left from Falmouth prison, the police said I refused to do manual labor. That time I had the Thursday and Friday off from work, for that the judge gave me a 2-month sentence. The policeman David Crawford at the Falmouth courthouse told the judge, please sir, I find him with a matchbox of ganja seeds in his breast pocket. The judge had already given me a 2-month sentence, he then said hold him in Falmouth until the ganja seed is ready. So after the first 2 weeks in lockup, I went to court, where I told them I don't know about the weed seed. The second week when I returned to court I saw one of the police in court who was there in Thatchtown. I said to him, please officer, 1963 when you came to Thatchtown, did I have on any shirt? The police answered no. The judge then freed me right there. I did the 2-month sentence in Spanish Town Prison and Tamarin Farm Prison, from 12th of April to the 27th of May, then I returned home. When I returned home, I could not recognize my yard, it looked strange. In Spanish Town Prison the police trimmed of my locks and placed it in my lap and put it back on my head again. Yes, I pity they don't know. So give thanks to all Rasta man. First let me tell you something, no bald head shall stand, Rastafari is non-partial. I cannot stay down in this land trotting the wine press. Unto the council and the generation I say come, they say no, and I must deal with them in Africa, I say no. Now let us come together as one people, for the sheep hear his voice and they follow, but they will not follow a stranger's voice. For we must come as one people, no cousin, brother, nor auntie, it is one people, so we must praise Rastafari and don't look at the setbacks, for you will dwell in trespass and sin, Rasta have no lot nor path with them, for the ungodly shall perish. Whichever way which way you want to look at it, the ungodly shall perish, so Rastafari let us give praises for we reap victory. I am 76 years old, so I give thanks, I am trotting the wine press from 1957, there is no go around, just come by the door, for there is no window, only door. So let us give thanks, Rastafari. We are one people. Just praise Haile Selassie the First, there is no one before and none after, but I, Rastafari. Let us give thanks and praises and honor to Haile Selassie and Pressmanen, blessed. Bongo Isaac. I hear, 1963, the 11th of April, I was in the hills burning coal, fi me little livelihood. So the works go, cause me na bow, you know. Me wi eat old yam, eat everything. Me na bow, for we de trod dis ya faith ya, to serve Rastafari, said way like Elijah. So when I come out with a little bag of coal, I man hear say Rasta and police clash out at Coral Gardens. Me say no, Rasta and police can't clash, for Rasta atrod po and the King Highway and police atrod po and the Queen, Elizabeth no way, so we are on two different streets. You overstand? But Satan set himself in the earth even amongst one and one who have brutal spirits and cannot take what going along to manifest his work. Remember it is the said day dem say a Good Friday that they crucify Christ, you know. I see what dem des show over dem TV today after dem say dem free Barabbas. Dem crown Barabbas, King Barabbas. So society call fi Barabbas and away with the man, away with Rasta. So thief and murderer we have in a society, what society call for is robber. Rasta, these things must come to pass, it is prophecy. So thief and murderer we have in a society, what society call for is robber. Rasta, these things must come to pass, it is prophecy. When I trod to my brethren to inform I of what took place, him say yes, it is Rudolph dem kill a Coral Gardens and whoa and yeah. And I man say Rasta man, you see what de happen ya now. Any Rasta man get caught up in it, we have to see what happen you know. I man na go stay down a low land you know. Like Elijah, I man must trod the hills. Brethren, dem na protect I you overstand? Them claim me do some murdering down there and derun, which I don't even know Coral Gardens good, but these tribulations must come to pass. I was forewarned by the prophets that was before I. Therefore, it must fall upon Ene. That Ene must know that Ene was the said apostles 2000 years ago who was following Jesus the Christ, now rebirth, now reincarnate, and come again as Haile Selassie I, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, the conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah. Ene have to reborn with him again this day. For they who suffer with their Lord below, shall reign on high with him. Blessed be the mighty Elohim Rastafari, who guide Ene from such time to this time, who will ever guide the destiny of his people, especially the oppressed of the black nation. Sons and daughters, know yourselves. In that time, you see, the man who was riding and a sell icicle, him could not say icicle, him have to say low sickle, or police lick off him head. A serious thing. Now when I rest in a cedar spring den now, the people gang ine oughta. Dem say we no fay go up a bongo. Well I tell dem that I de go up a bongo for I determine, for out in a de public I no see no shelter fay Rasta. When Ene trod, dem start fling stone, dem come with machete, dem come with rope, but who me de watch more than all is the big strong man with the rope, for him a plan to cast I. And if him cast I and hold down me two hands with the rope, him have power over me and me know what dem a go do me, for black people cruel. Black people in Jamaica don't have the true love for Rasta. These are divine reality man, touchable heart man. It was said own way in the time of Marcus Garvey. Now we are shining a bright light. Now Ene calling people out of their unconsciousness unto divine consciousness of acceptance of their own roots, their King, their Lord, our Divine Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie. So when I look Rasta, and see the man with the rope, every time him make fay go round fay go do so, the irates of Yah within I say, utter a lightning. I man say lightning. I see his fear, so I move up more on the hill and when ready to cast again I say lightning, and I powerize him to go up. When I went up on the hill I told my brethren what happened. 9 days I see police come up there from Balaclava with a combined force from Magadi and Black River. Dem arrest Ene, do what dem have to do, give we 2 box still, cause dem do what dem I do. Dem did box ya 2000 years go, dem must box Ene now. What dem say about Haile Selassie? Dem say the army overthrow him, but hear dis, the divine name and divine nature of the Almighty Rastafari cannot be overthrown. Ene de on de Rasta and feel the jail, for me catch cold in de and make me stomach swell, so I man stand up on the shit bucket now and say me no what unno want Rastafari do. Unno want Rastafari trim and shave and me here knock on the door. Me hear the door de rattle like a key de rattle in it, so me move way to shit bucket and put it one side and stand up behind the door and fold me arm. When me look, me see a strong one-stripe corporal come with a riot baton and a sergeant behind him and say, "What is the grievance in here?" I say no grievance, my stomach swell. Him say no, that is not the grievance. Him say here is Black River Central Police Station, and if you gwan with anything ya, we mash up you rascalate. I humble in myself, for I know force can't overcome force, you must have Irvine imbleness to overthrow force. We want the police to work with Eni, the Rasta man, and don't be like Eni black brother that bow unto the beast and worship the image of Pope Paul. And him no still, but him say a de him de get him money. So we take him now in the divine prophetic way of discussion, and discuss with them and show them their black original roots. Their original roots. 28. So when the sergeant sees that him shame, police de rounda we sell door Naya, Rasta, love, love. So we rest spiritual and holy in de Rasta. We sing psalms. Dem de time de when Rasta meet man, we have the psalms of David in our heart, with divine reverence for the Almighty Rastafari Haile Selassie and salute his divine nature with thanksgiving, Most High. When dem take us out, dem take us to Bala. The judge not ask we if we guilty or not, for Rasta na say him guilty. Thursday morning now when Eni go to court, the police start tell the judge that him see I with these things, a gas lamp, tape measure and a cook fork. He tell him say me, but at a Henderson in Kingston. So me hear him de tell him lie, so me know him a Barabbas and his spirit is to speak lies and the lying lips must put to silence, say ya Rastafari. So when him talk done now, the judge ask if I have something to say. Me say yes your honor, please. And me start honor him. And your honor please, I trod from St. James to Cedar Springs, a farmer to get plants from my brethren. Me see the detective write a paper and hand it to the judge read it and ask me say how far I live from Coral Gardens. Me say your honor please, from Montego Bay to Coral Gardens a 10 miles, and I did rest in Charman, so I live some 17 miles from the town. I said your honor, I never light a gas lamp yet, much less to own a gas lamp. I said Levi Jones, my brethren, tell the police where you buy these things, I Kingston in Henderson. I know nothing of it, your honor please. 29. The clerk of court de put it to I, say I tell the police that I but these things a Henderson. I say clerk of the court, to the best of I knowledge, I hear when my brethren Levi Jones tell the constable where him buy it, for I innocent towards that area. Scene. So dem call up the brethren and he claim all those things. You see Rasta, when the judge tell I say, I may go, him can't speak. Him say you may go. A pilot you know. Him fay dead. For him fi dead, for him a unjust pilot. A judgment Rasta. Me no carry no revenge. Well I man free des so Rasta and the police put me out at a courtyard. That time me no know the area, so me still trod back a Cedar Spring, and what happen now a my brethren brother dem day come to fight I. A trim man a come fay trim Rasta. Say me can't stay de, me fay left out of the city. So me have turn and go down a one, beloved. Me de on de is strong, but half I trod from de and come forward. When me come a Granville now dem lick down me little tattoo. Me half I sleep a door, you overstand. So these things that was spoken by the prophets, it come to pass. So marvel not that I said unto Eni you have to born again. Man have to change from mortal to immortality, that you change from you bad and crooked way and put on the inner man of righteousness when you go through the furnace and burn and purify as fine gold. 7 times 70, with the full knowledge and irates of our divine majesty Emperor Haile Selassie. Bongo Jack. I am telling the truth of the situation. On that day we ran down and took a shortcut, because in those days we don't want to be seen on the road. When the police sees us on the road they would drive us down with their van and say to us, come here boy, I have to see what you have in your pocket. They search you up. When they find no weed they say, boy, you are lucky, just go on your way. Anyway, we just run off, knowing that we cannot take the harassment, and take a shortcut that goes through Irvin and Tennis Shop. We then walked through the river to MT Salem, which is our well-known route. When we arrived at MT Salem, everyone said, well, let's go and visit our mistress, to find out what is really taking place. At that time we heard nothing about Carroll Gardens and there was no one there to upset us. We just came from the hills giving thanks and praises and went straight inside the house. By the time I went inside, I heard a youth said, Rasta hide Rasta police out there. I said to my mistress, what is going on? She replied that she did not know. I said, it is all right then. Soon I took a little peep through the crack in the door. I saw the boy came running saying, hide man, you better hide, because the police is going to kill you. Anyway, just I braved up myself and walked out and I saw some helmets. The boy them look like they are dressed up to fight some war. When you look at them they have some big long boots, some helmets, they all put on the bayonets on their guns. When the police ran up with their guns, one lady shouted that there is one Rasta living in the yard back there. Now one policeman lived in front of that yard gate, had a good relationship with me. I always reason with him. He said to me, if you ever opened your mouth and talk, I will tell that you are a Rasta too and make them hold you. The policeman did not anything further. I did not know what happened. I just slipped around the back, went into the house and right under the hanger. My mistress had a clothes hanger that went right around her bed, so I just stood up right behind it, making the clothes cover me up round and about. When the inspector came he said, good evening my lady, I don't know your name but I heard that you have a Rasta son here. The police look on the other policeman. That time I was hiding under the hanger there and was trembling. When I peeped out the door crevice, it was just bayonet that I was looking on. I just held my two breath and stayed behind the hanger. The police said, but lady, don't tell me that your son is not here, I am coming in to search. I said to myself, Lord have mercy, Father Rastafari, get rid of them now, personal. The police said, all right, we are going to search. He came in and took his rod and juke here so and there so. He opened the lady dresser and peeped. He took his staff and skin up the things in the dresser. That time I was under there sweating. I did not want the police to find me around that corner. Boy, you know the way you felt within yourself, so I kept quiet and said to myself, look, be brave now. Rastafari went through the greatest trouble, so I must stand up to this. I just stood firm for the blast. The police took his cane and juke round here so and there so, and when he touched me he said, but wait, it touched something soft here man. Let me juke again. I then took my hand and box away something. The police exclaimed that it is a handed touch on there. He then ordered the officers in his company to look around the corner there and pull down the things them. When that was done he said, you are clad, you, where you were, a wind you winding us up, come out of the corner you son of a bitch. Lady, how you told us that your son was not around there, you see lying lips, take out the dirty Rasta out there man. 33. And when I look, one of the policeman and his colleague ran up, one with his gun, and he juked me in my side with his bayonet. I said to him, but officer, really I did no commit anything, I was hiding from you personal, look far I was from you. I did nothing. Imagine you have the bayonet joking me, what are you doing? It is you creating war on me, I am not creating any war. The police said, don't talk man, if you talk look. Man move. The other police run come and said, turn around. When I turn around, he tied my hands behind my back. I then said, Fairy, I leave it in thy hands, for the wicked prevail but he can't overcome. 34. Bongo Jack. Bongo Jocelyn. Sisters, brethrens, friends, company, and comrades. I am saying to you, I really feel the hands of Babylon in 1963. It was so heavy man, believe me man, they sent me to jail. I spent 13 days and 12 nights in jail. When I went to court the judge did not charge me, he said remand him and bring him back. That's what he told me. When I was brought back for trial, the policeman told the court that he saw me coming from Tucker, and when I reached Granville Square, I threw up a red, gold and green stick in the air, jumped and catch it and said, "Babylon shall fall." I told the court that I did not say those words. The judge said to me, "I found you guilty of saying Babylon shall fall, you are fined £25, otherwise 3 months. I had to laugh, ha ha, 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 ha. That is the truth, man. These are my few words to you from this time to that time. 35. Mama Enid. Beloved brethren and sistrens, it is 43 years now since I have been talking the one thing over and over and over again. It is true, beloved brethren, the Coral Garden incident, it was so terrible to the eyes of who can see it and the ears of who can hear. First, to commence, beloved brethren and sisterin, in 1963, Rasta never have no friends. Rasta was left alone. Them said bring them in. Ferdy Combs was one of the men who sell Rasta for 1 guinea, 1 pound, 1 shilling. Beloved brethrens, which I told you once, twice, and all the while, I was not outside with my brethren dem feeling it, but I was feeling it inside. Beloved brethren, the Wednesday morning I got up, I hear a voice that said, "Rasta kill man, you know. Rasta kill man." I listen a little more, I hear nah hear that Rasta kill man, nice policeman named Warrate them kill. Little me now, with the big belly, me say, no stop the noise. Everything that no see happen. No say it a Rasta, then wolf in a it. Me hear who in one corner no because them a come for no too. Me still no say anything. Going on the day, the Wednesday coming on to the evening, me hear it stronger and stronger and stronger. Me start to look now. Me say something agwan, something in a something. Me go to me bed, lie down, but me can't sleep because they say Rasta. 36. Around 4 o'clock Thursday morning, we hear a vehicle run up. It na drive, a na drive it drive, a fly it fly come in. And me always love me house just a little hole, and me really gwan fe prip so, and when me prip, man, and me say Martin, get up and look cause it looks funny for true. Beloved brethrens, you see, when the daylight's out, Almighty Divine Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie, me see some baton and me see some big sticks, me see some sinting. Me see some Rasta man we dem day hall, when dem see them won't come, dem dash dem in the jeep. Almighty God. Ine glad to be here this night to give Izzes unto His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Beloved brethren and sisterin, we are speaking of Coral Gardens incident, but is something to remember. It is something that you should not forget. On this day that we say it was Good Friday, we all should know that it was a bad Friday. The Friday is good, because His Majesty never made anything that is bad, but the operation of it was wicked. As for Coral Gardens incident, I was living at North Gully. I know Rudolph in person, I used to buy his beans. Everything that him sell, I used to buy, until I heard him get into a trap. After him get into the trap, I see him into the hospital. Yes, I see him there. He goes to workhouse and he came back, and I see him when he came back. Him said to me, "Daughter, you are going here the result, but marvel not, but I really wasn't looking for it that way, I was looking another way, until the time of his appearance, that he should do his work." At that time, beloved brethren, my little daughter was pregnant. Babylon say is 9 months, but I say it is 18 months night and day. A woman carries a child for 18 months. Babylon count the day, but him no count the night, but wait a baby when day in a da night. Beloved brethren, the Wednesday morning when I wake up, I hear some little talking. Me hear say Rasta kill man out a Coral Gardens. Lit tle jumpy me say, everything unno here say a Rasta dweet, do it, den nobody else can't dweet, do it. Me hear one little voice say, you unno bombo clade. Dem day come fe unno, to de time, beloved brethren, me still no take it fay nothing. Yes, yeah. So now the Wednesday that day sound dem give out that dem day come fay Rasta, and way me go to bed. Anyway me couldn't sleep. From a Rasta, you know all coolie are the same coolie. Beloved brethren, the Wednesday morning when I wake up, I hear some little talking. Me hear say Rasta kill man out a coral gardens. Lit tle jumpy me say, everything unknow here say a Rasta wheat, do it, den nobody else can't wheat, do it. 39. Me hear one little voice say, you unknow bombo clade. Dem day come fay unknow, to the time, beloved brethren, me still no tek it fay nothing. Yes, yeah. So now the Wednesday that day sound dem give out that dem day come fay Rasta, and way me go to bed. Anyway me couldn't sleep. From a Rasta, you know all coolie are the same coolie. And the first one de hold was a little brethren before me name, son. Beloved brethren, it was a shame and disgrace. It was the most wickedness that I ever behold, beloved brethrens. I have 2 sons that was going to school at that time, dem have to hide and cut dem hair, cause I never cut it. Beloved brethren, 3 days no foods to I mouth. When I walked down to Barnett Street, the big gate was open. When I look, I see me brethren in 2 rooms, beating under dem skin Rasta, a de truth dad, beating under dem skin Rasta. Rasta me couldn't stand it, me weak, me couldn't stand it. Well anyway, me gwan so till me come in a me house. Friday a de same thing. Me kingman lean up in a de house. Me kingman lean up in a de corner in a de mattress him can't come out. Now the piece of joke of it, me tek in fay have baby de Friday night, in a de heart a de fi. Me no way de in a jail, but me pay de penalty, because there was no baby fay born. No baby fay born, beloved brethren, Babylon de go feel it. Beloved brethren me say Pope Roma go feel it, for the blood that they have shed innocently without a 41. A cause. I give thanks this day, you know, I am here. You see, when the baby born, I know me born the baby, me way no have no strength because me, when weak, me white like the man shirt, because every blood in a me bleed out beloved. But you see this day I am rejoicing in a full and free Rastafari, for he has kept I alive and I will forever and ever struggle to repatriate, for I have a goal to meet. So beloved brethren and sisterin, young ones, no something while we go through. You know how we way half a smoke little weed, 2 in a house de smoke and 1 in a house de watch. Old cloud we half a de bun, that dem no catch the scent of the weed, and we give thanks this day, as you wake up in a morning, you see dem de roll the spliff in a road. So beloved brethren, no keep a cool head. Na walk the way of Babylon. When persecution and temptation come, say, depart from me. I know you not Satan. You hear. So me take in the Friday night, the Friday me stand up at a pipe side. Brethren is here who know one brethren dem call Black Heart. Me stand up at a pipe side and him was going up a step, and dem shoot him, and when dem shot him brethren, me feel me back open 3 time and go back. Lord ya Rastafari. That little youth, after him born, if him take 3 teaspoon of tea, him take nuff until 7 days when him depart from this earth. Should Jesus Christ bear the cross alone and all the worlds go free? There is a cross for everyone and there is a crown for I. Rastafari. Walter Briss said. On Thursday morning the 11th of April about 10 o'clock, the same Thursday day which known as Holy Thursday, it was ugly one, the police came and said we are here for you all who kill good police. I replied I don't know what you are all talking about. The police continued by saying come, you are guilty of killing good police. The police put 4 of us from Salt Spring in the jeep and carried us down to Barnett St. Police Station. When we arrived, we say Pretty Boy and Onion Man there. The number of us in the police station was now 6. The police made 2 lines among themselves with us in the middle, some of us were boxed, some were kicked, those who were not kicked were spit upon, and everything that was evil was done to us. After these acts of brutality, they brought us bun and cheese to eat and told us to make merry cheese. We burned them with fire, and said to them, go down Babylon. The power, dreadlocks, which I had was just a year and a couple months. If it was some other man, he would have turned back and don't remember that he get some beating, but it did not trouble. I reminded them that Yah went to prison, and if you sent me there, it is nothing to me. I was tried without a shirt on, which is illegal in the court of law. The police tore off my good shirt when they came. They then offered me their dirty shirt to wear. I said to them, no, I don't wear that, I don't wear your things, I am the Rasta that you scorn, so I am not wearing your things. Judge Graham tried the case and realized that he had no power. The judge said to me, now Mr. Briss, I am going to send you to prison, because I can't do any better. I said to him, Judge, this is Walter Briss, when my time to judge you I am going to swivel your cup, because I am not afraid of any judge, I am the judge, because you tried me with heresy and you were not there. When Judge Graham tried and realized that he had no power over me, he said to me, Rasta, you know happen now, I am going to send you to prison, because I cannot do any better. I said unto him, Pilate, listen to Rasta now. This is Walter Briss, when my time to judge you, I am going to swivel your cup, I am not afraid of any judge. I am the judge, you have tried me on the grounds of heresy, you was not there. Those were the words I said upon the judge, I was not afraid of him, I am with the heavenly judge and he is just with Babylon on the low. I went to prison and did 10 months out of 15, but I think that they regretted it. I ate the best food in prison, I did not eat what they brought to me, I cooked my own food. The warder told me that I am a very wise person and offered me some work there, they even brought herbs to me while I was there. When I went to prison, the police cut my locks, but when I was released, I came out with my glory, my locks was on my head, that was powers upon powers yet. Concerning Carroll Gardens, Rudolph, otherwise known as Franklin, was working for Rose Hall and Fowler did not love him. None of them did not love him. It was not the police who shot Rudolph, it was the attorney for the property. I know that because I was a cane headman for that property. I took my imprisonment and came out. Here I am Busta who gave the great command, where is he? One great god named Martin said, yes man, now we get Rasta to kill them plenty. Today he could not kill a fly, he died. Jackman. Highly I. It make me feel stronger standing on these grounds, where I first started my preaching on that long wall, which was from the courthouse behind the library. That time the beach was right up against the wall. Yes, I started to meet every tribulation in Montego Bay from about 1956 when they scraped up many Rasta men from Railway Lane. The police claimed that they wanted another notorious brother by the name of Breda Susie Q60. They wanted him dead or alive. None of us did anything wrong. When I was live up in Canterbury at Brother Charles' yard, I got a vision the night of the beating and told Sister ESI, who advised me not to go to Montego Bay. When I arrived at my location, one man was there with a little beard on his face. Previously there was a gambling dispute going on in which two people started a fight. One daughter at the end of the lane phoned the police, Babylon, and told them that two Rasta men were fighting. That story was not true. The police then came to investigate the matter. When the police arrived, he tore off one of the gamblers' shirt, who retaliated. As a result, the police started to harass people from house to house, even taking out people out of their beds. No one was not spared. Bull Moon was one of them. 44. I was in a toilet in Womantown when the police came looking me. I was standing behind one latchboard of the door, then I heard one man exclaim, Jesus, look here. The man stood up like King George. The next long lip one kicked down the door and came in. If the toilet seat was open he would have gone straight down into the toilet pit with the speed that he entered. However, he ended up right on top of the toilet seat. The man dem hit me some lignum beat wood when and I came out of the toilet. At that time there was a girl who was pregnant in the yard for one of the policemen. When I came out, I heard that it was she who showed the police where I was hiding. The police took me with baton in hand to the bottom of the lane. When we arrived at the slaughterhouse, the policemen started to jam all the ram goats with beards with their batons. These goats were all tied up in the slaughterhouse. They then took me to 14 Barnett Street Police Station. That time my mother was cooking meals for the police. There I saw one policeman that I knew named Mr. Curry. I got closer to him to prevent the baton licks, but it did not stop at all. They asked me, "Is it this what we are sending you to school for? We don't see you with any books." One of them said he remembered seeing me with a book named The Fall of Babylon. The old boxer Charles Daly threw a punch at me and missed. When he missed, he bounced into the policewoman at the desk. When I went to court, the police could not recognize whom he had arrested. I was then free to go home. However, the police told lies on many others who were locked up. I man still here trotting up from when I was 18 years old. I was one of the youngest youths who rose up as Rastafari in Montego Bay. In those days I suffered lots of tribulation. But I slipped them with the Carroll Gardens. I knew that they were after me. Haile Selassie just moved I. During that time, I witnessed many Rasta men wearing frock, woman's clothing, who came looking for refuge at my home. Rasta men living in Kingston threatened to poison the drinking water if they brought the brutality there. Some of my brethren who were living in Porus had to live in a cave to escape the police brutality. Through the powers of Haile Selassie, I am still standing in Montego Bay in this 2003, still I cramp and paralyze Babylon. Unity is strength, you know, unity to carry us through. We have come a long way now. Bless Rastafari, hold strong. Haile I. Mashanti I. Give thanks, my brethren and sisterin. Yes, give thanks to the Most High to be favorable unto us, to forward the captivity of Jacob, to forgive the iniquity of us all, and to cover our blindness, to take away our reproach and to bring us forward to salvation. Blessed be His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie. I was in Kingston at Foreshore Road, 2 weeks before the Coral Gardens incident. We heard that they had started to brutalize our people. I stood up and just felt my belly go so whap. I felt a dirty feeling, and if I had felt a third time I would have dropped down. I feel it twice and I said, "Lord Rastafari, ya, what is this? Lord Rastafari, King Selassie, what is this?" After 2 weeks had passed, I heard over the radio that 6 Rastafari went on a rampage, looting and killing and doing all kind of things in Mobay. It was the massacre that began that. I feel the nature of it before it started. I could remember Rudolph Franklin, who was a youth that I knew in those days. He was a very nice youth, but his works was nothing pertaining to Rastafari, so our people are punished for him, you understand, but give thanks that Rastafari overcome. So listen. This is the little song that I made up out of the tribulation of my people. Haile I Selassie ya Rastafari I woe, 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 woe in a Babylon. Just before the massacre, I Muma Shanti, I feel my belly start to move, then say to myself, what dis ya now ya? It was the cry of the Rasta. 47. Man I Coral Gardens. It was the cry of the Rasta man all over Jamaica. It was 1963, when the government send the force fe go kill out the Rasta man. The people dem start to help the force fe go kill out the Rasta man. Only help fe de Rasta man was King Haile Selassie I, ya Rastafari. Only help fe de Rasta man was King Haile Selassie. And this what the government say about the Rasta man. If dem can't hold in a bogue, put them up in a bogue hilltop. Babylon you kingdom fall, way you fight against the Rasta man. Babylon you kingdom fall, way you fight against King Selassie I. And the herb way you call ganja is for the use of man, that's what the Rasta man used to meditate. Babylon you kingdom fall, never more to rise again. Lord, what a misery down a wicked Babylon. Lightning. Blessed be King Rastafari, Haile Selassie I, ya Rastafari. 48. Mash anti. Matriarch nanny. Yes, they come and take my man, Aska Taylor. We were living in Glendavon, when the people say, policeman 1 live day so, soldier man, 1 live day so. You repent, of giving you brothers and sisters to Babylon, you repent. Now when they take my man, Aska Taylor, and carry him to the checkpoint, and him said to I carry my jacket. When I carry it, them said to I, you are the king, them say all right. Them take them to the jail, when they say, because we were working, making mats for the police station and the units, they say Aska can get some food. Him say to I in Glendavon, I must bring dem food, and I fix food and I carry it down the jail. When I was out in the street before the jail, 14 Barnett Street, I see them police run out and said this woman preaching doctrine of Rastafari and to grab me up. One of the police say, now this woman out here crying for his brethren all right. When I was there, I see Alexander Bustamante come down and say, Mr. Melbourne, and he turn into the station and he take the pen and sign and say carry dem in dead and alive, when he full bogue, he will full bogue hill. And he sign and that was it, and they carry dem in, and they murdered them. Cow Jarrett give the sugar to molasses to wet dem up. When I bring food the other day, they move them to Lucicia after they carried them up to the courthouse. They said, Aska Taylor can get bail, and I go. 49. Unto the inspector from Lucicia, into the police station at Montego Bay at Barnett St, and I said to the inspector, don't carry him back to Lucia, bail is granted for him, and I bail him. Now it was Franklin, that brother, he was a nice brother. He didn't do any harm and they live on him in that place where he grow up in the property. He burn fire coal, he come to King Street, he sell fire coal. He kind to the children and the old people. Rudolph Franklin didn't do no harm, the man that say him is head man, hate him, Fowler. And he start to harass him. One of the times they shoot him and send him to prison. They did leave him into the hills, and take one. And when they arrived at the old hospital, he said to them, one leave into the bush. They go for Rudolph and carry him to the hospital, and when he half better, them send him to prison, and he come out, and they been harassing him and tell him that him have to die. So he takes a little revenge and say he go do a thing, but he never call up the house of Rastafari. Him and his little few brethren go on a rampage, but they didn't prosper. It was the police in Sipalgut draw on dem with their guns and they kill dem at the seaside, all about, and they say now carry in the Rastafarians now dead and alive. That was justice. That was justice. Now we want justice, now we want justice, and justice must be had and equality. We want repatriation with reparation, back to our motherland. 50. Ethiopia for all our people, for all African people. They tell you that it must only say Jamaica you love, but what about our dear motherland, our forefathers? Them carry I here, captive in Babylon, to plant sugar cane and banana to rich England and America and others too, while they go up into our land Africa, Mother Africa, and take out our gold, our precious stones, our precious cattle, and carry them all in Rome and Babylon and slave I. Now give thanks we have overcome. Now we are on our way to our dear motherland. You love Africa? Jamaica is for the Red Indian, China for the Chinese man, and Europe for the European. Daddy say every nation must find their own vine and fig tree. Come on Africans, are you ready? Are you ready? Now they cannot penalize the Black Star Liner no more, like how they do unto Mosiah Garvey. Now are enough, we are numberless, we are strong, Yes, so now, little ones, don't let them tell you that cow jump over the moon no more. Don't let them tell you they burst in the moon no more. Don't let them tell you they build housing schemes in the skies, for Yah so high that no men get on top of him, and Yah so low that no men get under him, him so round that no men get around him. For the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, and all they that dwell thereon, both great and small. Now give thanks to your Rastafari, His Imperial Majesty Haile I First. Rase love. I get shot, at Westmoreland, just because of Carroll Gardens. When I got shot, I feel like I was going to faint and drop to the ground. I call out say, Haile Selassie. One of thy sons coming home unto thee, immediately I was strong, strong. Very strong. The first indication of my return to consciousness was these words, you can destroy the world and be humble. As I stretch forth my hand and the policeman see that I am strong, him put handcuff on me hand. I sight the people dem, some crying, some holding down dem head, some saying crucify dem, crucify dem, crucify dem, all around thee is land. Pure crucifixion. And when I look at those outside, I said, weep not for I, but for self and your children's children. While policemen decide to carry I man to the hospital and then to lock I up, him talk to the other policeman and said, look for the others, enough more brethren. I turned to him sad and said, why you ascend the officer to shot the man dem fai? What dem do? Him run with gun, him tech shot poni, juke in I belly and said, don't talk, I will shoot. I looked straight in his eye and said, shoot, I can't dead, and him put it back in his shield. Hail Fairy, Haile Selassie, ever living, Almighty I way dem talk about God and Lord or Jesus, at that time I never see no God, nor Lord, nor no Bible. The word was Selassie I want everyone to know that Selassie I only, and when I look at my right hand and beheld that there was no one that would know I, only Selassie I, the Almighty I. Them send I to the hospital for injection and dress. One of the nurses say, we all are fools. I quote few lines of scripture and dash it po and dem, as say come to history. Them turn to the policeman and say take him out, him strong. Take him and go lock him up. Dem shot me, right in a me neck yaso. When he shot me, him say, ah. I got him. Scene. The fiya hot, ayah. With lightning and thunder and earthquake in a Westmoreland and international world, Selassie I is the Almighty. Some a dem talk some things and a criticize eni with dem Lord Jesus. While in a de jail, 6 brethren, I see from mo bay dem carry down. I know Bongo John, 3 of us from Westmoreland that make 9, for dem time know who he parasta man never devout. While I in jail, dem put the 9 a we in a one cell. Every morning when we wake up, and fi empty the bucket, 2 a dem, the blue suit, 1 with 2 gun, 1 with 1, them open. When we look out, pure red seam with long gun and bayonet. Every one have bayonet in, only one man dem day tech out, every gun turn ponu. One of the policemen, one of the blue suit man, come and see 9 man in a cell. Him say, who put so much a unno in a one cell? We, say, a dem police boy, me hear him say, because you know come from Yana, so him tech out for a we, and put dem in another cell. A next policeman come in the morning and say, how unno put mo bay man with Westmoreland man. So him tech out the mo bay man, then dem bail one of de man, and left 2 a we in debt. I going to see who you is Bustamante, who send I a prison. Looking on the prison wall, lying on my back, when I look, I see Haile Selassie I, come through the wall stand up, before I. Hail far I, Selassie I, the Almighty. Pope Hafi run on Isis day, bun him in the lake of Fiya. Can't get away from the Fiya, Pope, and his follow ers. Him never get away from I love, the house of dread and international dread. While I in his majesty come in and said, that name dem call I. Go home and tell them that Haile Selassie say you can't go a prison and I must leave it to the youths. I don't see him again, I can't tell you way him walk, which part him turn or disappear. After I got bail, I come out and tell it to the people dem, for dem a bring God, and say Lord God him coulda dead. So I bun God, from such time, it is Selassie I, so that dem don't like I. I have a judgment this day fa all Christianity, de whole a dem, de whole a dem. Dem a say bout Lord Jesus Christ. Amy Bredda, and me sista dem, a me mother, seen, but dem ha fe come to reality, I not going to slaughter dem. Must go home. A highly Selassie I go change dem a no I love.